Alright, so welcome back to the SuperCoach Enough channel, and in this video we're going to have a look at the round 1 review of the Bulldog project. So as you can probably predict, given the result in the game, the result in SuperCoach was also not so good. So 606, which puts us at 122,000, so a long way to get back to the top. But I guess let's have a look at the team and how they all went collectively. Not interested, thank you. So, looks like probably the biggest error was number one, not giving Reed Marnie the captaincy. He was an absolute weapon on the weekend, 75 points. You know, obviously getting the sole try for the Dogs off his own kick and chase, 50 tackles, you know, doing it all. So yeah, he'll be staying for probably the season, I reckon. I reckon him and Harry Grant, a 1-2 punch at the end of the year would be pretty decent. New Brown, 42, you know, playing at the lock forward position. How'd he go for minutes? Let's have a look. 54 minutes, so yeah, very good. I should mention I only saw the first 50 minutes of this game. I was watching a replay. I didn't get to watch it live. And then it was getting quite late and sort of, watched the sort of last couple of tries. Um, so I guess before we move on from that, maybe could just touch on my thoughts on the game. Even though, again, I didn't watch it all, but there was a lot of positives. If you look at the 5 tries Manly scored, it was basically, you know, a lucky rebound off a dribble kick through, bounced off Matt Burton's hand, you know, just because he wasn't having a rough enough day as it was. The second try, which was the Ruben Garrick, that was obviously after the contentious sin binning of Kyle Flanagan, 2 tries in that 10-minute period. So, you know, I think they'll probably unlucky. You know, if they had 13 on the field, they don't concede that one. They might not concede the next one, although that was really just off an error and a bit of a scrappy play. But Manly were not lucky enough to get the bounce of the ball, and Chervin's got his first. Maybe the fourth one was probably the only one you could be critical, but by then, you know, the middle was a bit tired. Middle defence was a bit tired, and Manly, they just bashed through that middle all day and finally found a gap after 60 minutes. And then, you know, off sort of the last play of the game, Matt Burton, just to sum up his day, that, you know, fairly lazy looking pass. Cherry Evans was up in the line and read like a book and completed his hat trick. So, you know, when you sort of look at them in context and in isolation, yeah, it wasn't so bad. There was a couple of opportunities. Again, the Dogs could have scored. There was one where the bounce of the ball evaded Addo Carr. If it bounced up nicer for him, he would have scored. Another couple of close calls, and that was in that first 50-minute period where, you know, the game was still in the balance. But, you know, it just wasn't their day. So, yeah, even though we're sitting 17th on the ladder, and, you know, I guess the reports coming out of it was that, you know, the Dogs aren't, you know, the false dawn of the arrival. I'm still pretty bullish on how they'll go going forward. You know, everyone just has those days sometimes. And unfortunately for us, it was round 1. So, but yeah, back to the team. So Max King, 52. Yeah, he was good in the middle. And I guess, you know, his score probably reflected being second best on ground after Marnie. Frankie Pele, 8. I guess I didn't see him for 50 minutes. I did watch, so that's not a good sign. And Jaden Tanner, 15. Obviously, you know, first game in the middle. Yeah, that's fair enough. It's probably about what you expect for a bench front rower in their first effort. And Tavita Pangai, can't wait for him to get back. Obviously, being delayed a bit. Looks like round 4 or 5 now. So we're just going to have to hang in until that time. Captain Kickout, that was obviously overconfident on my behalf, thinking he'll do the business for us. 32 again, a couple of errors, kick out on the full, like who does that in the second row? But yeah, less. We won't dwell on it. We'll move on. For Taylor Mariner, 40. Ryan Sutton, 48. So again, solid efforts. That's what we're expecting as a baseline for these guys. So that's fair enough. Corey Waddell, 36. So obviously, the main man off the bench in that middle rotation. So, that's about right for his game. And Jacob Preston, 25. So again, good minutes on the edge. 25 is all right for a bottom dollar cheapie. So no dramas there. It's Andrew Davey, head knocker cat. Thought he played in the Reggies on the weekend, so can't be too bad. Kyle Flanagan, 27. So I guess maybe when they started to realise that the left edge wasn't quite clicking, they should have tried to give him a bit more of the ball. But yeah, again, didn't quite work out. That's okay. Matt Burton, 18. Again, had an absolute shocker. So I think I looked at his stats in the other video, but I've already forgotten. So a couple missed tackles there, but yeah, so -8 in errors, which means 4 errors, and a penalty conceded. So, that's not ideal. I mean, a couple of those other things click and go off, and that 18 is very quickly up and about. So, not stressed about him at the moment. And then the backs, so Carraz, 51, that's just massive. And you consider the rest of the boys, so I'm guessing a lot of that was runs, a lot of offloads. So obviously didn't see that, but 28 runs plus your offloads, that's brilliant. So yeah, he'll probably be the last one to go out of the back line. Josh Adokar, like I said, wasn't far off a try. But yeah, 14 runs, trying to get involved as best he could. Couple of tackle busts there, and a couple of tackles. Avarillo, 25. So yeah, again, I guess the centers are probably a bit more aligned on the attacking stats than the wingers because they obviously get lots of hit ups from the backfield. And Hayes Perham, 33. So I was actually pretty pleased with his game. Don't think there was an error. No errors. So the rusty trial form um, wasn't ideal, but yeah, lots of runs, which was good. He was getting involved. So um, yeah, he's someone I'm considering trying to get into the I guess my main SuperCoach team. Little bit difficult given the awkward price and a couple other errors I've made in my squad. But yeah, so I mean, in terms of where we go from here, it's clear we need to start getting some point scorers in the team. Uh, so I guess what I'm leaning towards at the moment is we probably just need to get squad depth build up. So I'm going to take out Davey and bring in Jermaine Hopgood. Obviously, he provides the upside of value plus the points. So he's an absolute no-brainer for this week. Um, After that, I think we need a fullback. So probably what we'll do is we'll take out Braden Burns so we can fleek pair him into um, the centre wing. And then ideally it'd be Tommy Turbo, but we can sit on him a bit because he's got the bye this week. Latrell's got a little bit of a injury cloud there, so we might just have to go straight to Tedesco, I reckon. Obviously didn't score great on the weekend, but the Roosters will be embarrassed by that, and they've got the Warriors this week at Allianz, so and a afternoon game. So yeah, that all stacks up pretty well. I think Tedesco will have to be added in for points. As you can see, we've still got a mil and a bit to spend, so we can go absolutely anywhere. Yeah, so obviously, it'd be nice to have someone like Harry Grant there for points, but these two guys are playing for the Dogs and solid scorers. Um, what else have we got to consider? Maybe a upgraded halfback is an option. Yeah, I think so. I think we have to go up at the fullback. Um, sorry, the halfback spot because even if the attack pops off, it's going to be more Burton than Flanagan, let's be honest. So what we might do is it'll ruin our flexibility. We need to boost up, but we're going to get rid of young Matai. We don't need him as a cheapie, let's be honest. What happened there? Didn't activate. So we'll trade him out. And I mean, we could get on the Sam Walker train. Nathan Cleary is the obvious option. Who's the Panthers got? They got South this week, so another tough one for the Panthers. How did old Trindle go? 46, taken over from Nico Hines. This might be another little sneaky option. He did score a try amongst that, which is it's all attacking by the looks of it. What's that? 21-33. That's a bit yuck. Base of 13. 50 again. 40-20 as well. So man, yeah, take all that out. He did 10 tackles and didn't run the ball. We don't like that for SuperCoach purposes. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna go Cleary. Let's back the guns into lift. So bring Cleary in. We've still got 500k in the bank, which is nice, but if we knock in those trades, it's a little bit light on still in the front row, but I reckon what we can do is swing Pangai around, Sutton to start. Let's maybe get that on there. Oh, hang on. Bring Hopgood into the starting team, because why not? They're probably playing first. So obviously Pangai's not going to be reserve. That would be for Mr. Flanagan. And then bring Perham in for probably Jay Cavalry. It's a bit of a harsh call, but I guess, we're expecting the left edge to lift, so Almighty and Addo could be a chance of attacking stats. And yeah, Tedesco is obviously the starting. So yes, I guess pending team list Tuesday. Obviously recording this on a Monday, straight after the lockout, or close enough to. That's why I got the Liverpool gear on, celebrating the big win. Yeah, so assuming the team's the same, I can't see why they would change. As I said, it wasn't a good result, but at the same time, um, there's sort of excuses for quite a few of the poor acts, even if that's just a blanket, not Matt Burns Day sort of deal. But yeah, so not expecting any changes. So I think that's the way the team will shape up. Obviously, Waddell's the middle forward change out option, so include him. Preston seems to be getting quite a few minutes compared to the other middles. I guess Ray's moving into the middle there a bit. So yeah, we'll probably keep it as is like that. In terms of vice captain, now we've got a couple of options. I mean, the Dogs don't play until Saturday night, so we could probably lock in Marnie as the captain. We could even go real rogue and go the two new boys. So maybe we'll go Cleary and Tedesco. Guess Penrith could go all right out of Bluebird against South, particularly losing to the Broncos out there round one. They'll want to lift and look after the fans. I think maybe some dry conditions could help with that too. And then the Roosters at Allianz on a Saturday afternoon against the Warriors. Although they look good in defence, from what I understand, that's a very juicy matchup for Tedesco. And I guess again off the back of an embarrassment against the Dolphins, they'll want to lift. So it doesn't say much for the Dogs that I've been the captaincy and vice captaincy off them after round one, but yeah, I mean, hopefully they prove me wrong against the Storm at Amy Park. It's going to be a tough one, so yeah, pretty comfortable with those choices, to be honest. And yeah, so I guess obviously after next week, first round of price changes are coming, so we'll be looking at, I guess, probably just looking at the other three other than Hopgood that are going to lift in value, or maybe at least two, and then obviously try to again bring in another big scorer where we can, because we should have a bit of money building up by that stage. But we'll wrap it up there. So feel free to comment your thoughts on the game on Saturday, the team, any sort of changes you think they'll make to the lineup, which will obviously impact this squad. The trades that I've made, I think they're pretty common sense. Bringing in a couple of big hitters plus an absolute freak in Jermaine Hopgood. But yeah, like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that usual YouTube rigmarole. And other than that, I'll see you in the next one.